It's Halloween 1995. Porch lights are our notifications. Blockbuster is the algorithm. And for one night, America shares the same sidewalk. Halloween night in 1995. A 90s American time capsule. It starts with a single porch light clicking on. Then another. Jack-o'-lanterns grin like little orange radios on the stoops. And the air smells like wet leaves and candle smoke. A garage door lifts. A dad pops the trunk, revealing a pile of capes, plastic swords, and a grocery bag of glow sticks. Somewhere down the block, a boombox coughs out a Halloween mix, while sneakers slap the sidewalk. Kids in oversized costumes tumble out of minivans, tugging masks into place, giggling through tiny nose holes. A camcorder's red light blinks to life. Steady hands, shaky zoom. The sun drops. The neighborhood turns into a moving parade of capes, wings, and pillowcases, all headed for the next lit doorbell and the promise of sugar. America in 1995 felt connected and small at the same time. Yeah, you called friends on a landline and hoped a parent didn't pick up first. If you were fancy, you had a second phone line for dial-up internet, the kind that sang through the speakers before connecting. Pagers buzzed on belts. Payphones waited outside supermarkets. In living rooms, big box TVs glowed, and families actually agreed on what to watch because choices were limited. Network nights, a few cable channels, and whatever the VCR had taped last week. Minivans rolled with CD wallets in the side pocket, sometimes a mixtape from a friend. Malls were the hangout, Blockbuster the weekend plan, and every fridge had a calendar covered in magnets and school flyers. It was a country where plans were made days ahead, cameras used film, and neighborhoods felt like the default social network, especially on a holiday built around knocking on doors. Costumes in '95 split into two camps, store-bought plastic and proud homemade improvisation. Drugstore racks held shiny capes, witch hats, and those molded masks with elastic that snapped at the worst moment. Power Rangers were everywhere. Bright suits, foam muscles, karate poses on the curb. Batman, Ninja Turtles, and Star Wars still had pull, while Disney princess gowns rustled past vampire capes. Some kids went full DIY, cardboard robot torsos, duct-taped hockey pads, a white sheet ghost with carefully cut eye holes, face paint smudged into candy bars, fake blood dripped theatrically, and wings snagged on shrubbery. Whatever the budget, the goal was the same: be recognizable in the dark and fast enough to beat the crowd to the porch. There were rules, spoken and unspoken. Pillowcases meant business. Orange pumpkin buckets were for the early grades. If the porch light was on, you went. If it was dark, you skipped. No questions. At each door, the chorus, "Trick or treat," followed by a thank you, even if it was raisins. Some houses had the legendary, "Please take one bowl," an integrity test most kids passed until a superhero in a hurry scooped 3. Parents shadowed the sidewalk like Secret Service, coffee in hand, letting older siblings be tour guides and timekeepers. Routes were sacred. Up the right, cross at the cul-de-sac, down the left, hit the corner house with full-size bars, then loop back. Doorways turned into micro-conversations. Who are you supposed to be? Be careful with that cape. Candy dropped, masks adjusted, and 100 tiny negotiations with gravity and manners kept the night moving. Every school had the assembly. Wear something bright. Stick with a buddy. Check your candy at home. Crossing guards handed out reflective stickers that peeled off halfway through the night. Local news ran the annual segment about inspecting wrappers and avoiding homemade treats, even though most routes were neighbor to neighbor, names known. Porch lights, familiar. Parents clipped glow sticks to zippers and tucked flashlights into coat pockets. Older kids joked about razor apples, while secretly hoping for a homemade cookie from Mrs. Thompson 2 doors down. The vibe was caution within community. Rules repeated, routines followed, and a quiet trust that the block would look out for its own. In suburbs, the map was cul-de-sac logic, loops and lollipops of streets where porch lights made a breadcrumb trail. City kids worked the grid, stoop to stoop, bodegas handing out lollipops, a super at the front desk with a plastic cauldron. Small towns shut down Main Street for an hour, store owners in witch hats passing fun-sized bars through squeaky doors, the fire truck idling with its lights on for show. In apartment towers, elevator rides became bonus rounds, every floor a fresh harvest. On military bases, identical houses lined up like a costume parade route, MPs waving at ninjas and princesses. Out past the streetlights, rural families carpooled. Church basements, school gyms, and the good stretch of road where porches actually face the highway. Different routes, same rhythm. Doorbell, greeting, candy, thank you, woven into a single American night of footsteps and laughter. Before heading out, TVs set the mood. After-school blocks ran spooky cartoon marathons. Primetime promised very special Halloween episodes with laugh tracks riding over thunder sound effects. Local stations did quick candy safety hits between weather maps, then cut to horror movie trailers that looked scarier than the films. Commercials leaned in. Candy poured in slow motion, pizza deals and pumpkin graphics, even car ads with plastic cobwebs on the showroom. VCRs blinked 12 o'clock, some recording the whole night, tracking lines and all, so kids could rewatch the specials until Thanksgiving. Through open windows, you'd hear theme songs and eerie bumpers mixed with doorbells and squeaky masks, the living room soundtrack leaking onto the sidewalk. Deep porches had their own playlists, novelty tracks, rock radio staples, and a few current hits blasting from boomboxes balanced on railings. You'd catch a chorus as you passed, thump of the kick, goofy organ riffs, a DJ's quick tag between songs. The neighborhood added percussion, leaf crunch under sneakers, screen doors thwacking, the clink of candy hitting plastic. Camcorders whispered with the click whir of Zoom, batteries sighing as the night wore on. Laughter overlapped with distant sirens and the wind in bare branches, a mixtape of suburban autumn recorded in real time. When the porch lights clicked off, the night didn't end. It just moved inside. Shoes piled by the door, costumes half off, kids sprawled on carpet in sugar afterglow. Someone's parent made microwave popcorn, the kind that fogged the kitchen windows. Controllers clicked as a game console fired up. Side-scrollers and racing games, turn-taking enforced by a timer on the microwave. If it was a weekend, a Blockbuster case snapped open. Spooky, but not too scary. Blankets pulled to noses during the tense parts. A few kids crashed early, marker mustaches threatened. Disposable cameras did one last flash, catching red-eye and crooked smiles. In the quiet, you could hear the VCR hum, candy wrappers rustle, and sleepy whispers about next year's costume. The party stretched into tomorrow. Technology shaped the pace, but it never took the wheel. Flashlights led the charge. Fresh AA batteries rattled in a kitchen drawer like gold coins. Camcorders turned parents into directors, narrating from behind the viewfinder. Disposable cameras taught everyone to choose shots carefully. No do-overs, no filters, just hope the drugstore prints weren't all red-eye. In a few houses, the family computer hummed in a corner, screensavers bouncing company logos in the dark. Halloween night in 1995 works like a little civic ritual. No tickets, no logins, just doorbells and porch lights. Kids learn to say please and thank you, to travel in a group, to read a neighborhood's signals. Parents meet the people they wave to the rest of the year. The street becomes a commons where rules are simple and shared. Light on means welcome. Light off means maybe next time. Without phones, the night relies on eye contact and timing. Listen for your kids' laugh, agree on a meeting spot. Trust the loop will bring everyone back. The tech that saved the memories, camcorders, film, stayed in the background. What mattered most was the walk, feet on pavement, faces at the door. Candy passed hand to hand. Seen through the Bin America lens, it's a snapshot of how communities held together, through small, repeated acts that felt ordinary then and rare now. Porch lights blink out, one by one, candy piles shrink, tape rewinds. Somewhere, a cape hangs to dry over a chair. Think about that one night, how it stitched a neighborhood together, with footsteps and open doors. What from '95 still lives on your block? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this video.